What is up, gamers? This is That PlayStation Gamer. Today I am just doing a quick little rant. So Microsoft is sad. They're sad. We can't compete with Sony in the console space. So let us acquire a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has made the most successful video game franchise out there, and also has a shit ton of backlog of games that also made a quite big money, like Diablo, World of Warcraft. Dude, just it's so transparent what they're doing here. So if you guys don't know, if you guys didn't get the hint, Microsoft said they lost the console war, which is very weird because like the 360 generation, they were actually doing fairly good. You know, it was only the last minute Sony actually got ahead of them. And what I mean they did good, I mean they did it slightly less better than the Nintendo Wii. But it's like Microsoft even outsold the GameCube with the original Xbox. So it's so weird how now they have also this defeatist attitude, and they start saying stuff like we lost this, we can't compete. But there's like they have this whole FTC thing coming up where it's like, oh, I see what you're doing. What they're trying to do, at least this is how I read it, is they're trying to make themselves look pathetic so that Microsoft can get Activision Blizzard. That's the thing they want the most. They want that more than they want your money right now. Because here's the thing, and here's the honest to God truth. If they don't have Activision Blizzard, they have a very hard time making money. I mean, come on, Call of Duty makes money. It just does. It makes a shit ton of money. World of Warcraft subscriptions still are highly, kind of, up there. You also got shit like, just subscriptions and all that stuff. Hey, you could play every Call of Duty in the past. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play Black Ops 1 on 360 servers right now, because that's a fucking mess. But they can do it. And just, I see through the shit. I see through it because I'm not an idiot. I know what Microsoft's doing. Like I said, they're trying to make themselves look sad and pathetic, so then they're allowed to acquire a multi-billion-dollar publisher. A publisher with a huge backlog of games that they could just tap into at any time. And now we're hearing stuff like the Indiana Jones game that's being worked on, and Starfield that's also, coming out this year, were originally planned to be multi-plat. And Microsoft said, and this is their fucking wording, they said they would not try to exclude people from playing their games. Well, Microsoft, you're excluding people because you don't make it available on PlayStation. Why don't you do this, Microsoft? Why don't you just put it on all platforms? Oh yeah, because you need a reason for your console to exist at this point. Besides being the Game Pass box. Let's just be honest here. That's what it is. It's the Game Pass box. I don't think people are buying as many games on Xbox as they do on PlayStation. And the reason is because on PlayStation, you still have to buy these games in order to get access to the game. Unless you're going to wait a couple of years for PlayStation Plus. And even then, that's not a guarantee. So yeah, this is just my ranting and rambling. I know this might come off a bit of a salty PlayStation fanboy thing. But I just want to leave you guys off with one clip from someone, and I generally do agree that this is where we're heading if we let Microsoft just do whatever the hell they want. So, cue it, Adam.
So I've been thinking a lot about how Microsoft just bought Activision, one of the world's largest video game publishers, and I think that news is a lot more frightening than most people realize. Like, I see people worrying, oh, what if they make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive? But that's not the issue. The issue is that Microsoft can use Activision to undercut the rest of the entire video game industry and build a monopoly. See, most publishers sell their games for $60 or $70, which they have to do because the games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and years of effort. But Microsoft has recently disrupted that strategy by introducing a service called Game Pass, where you can get hundreds of games for just $9.99 a month. And now they're buying up game publishers so they can put their games on the service. Microsoft has bought so many game studios that they now own Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, Halo, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls Fallout, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Psychonauts, Guitar Hero, Dishonored, Minecraft, Gears of War, Tony Hawk, and Zork. Remember Zork? It doesn't matter if Call of Duty is also available on PlayStation. If you can get it for $9.99 instead of $70 and get hundreds of other games too, that's what you're going to do. The deal is just too good to pass up. Now, I can hear what you're going to say next. You're saying Sony and Nintendo just need to make their own Game Pass competitors and make their own games, $9.99 a month. Here's the problem. I don't think they can do that. I think Microsoft is taking a massive loss on Game Pass, and they're able to do that because they are literally 10 times bigger than Sony and Nintendo combined. Nintendo makes video games and playing cards. Sony makes video games and headphones. Microsoft makes video games, the operating system that every computer in the world runs on, and the web services that every website in the world run on. They are one of the biggest companies in the world, and that means that they can use their massive cash reserves to subsidize their video game service forever. It's the Amazon strategy. They can take a loss on every single video game they sell through Game Pass forever until they have wiped out the competition, and Sony and Nintendo cannot do shit about it. Actually, I should say I think Nintendo will be fine, because Nintendo has Mario and Zelda, and everyone loves Mario and Zelda, but I think Sony is fucked. Like, Sony can't afford to make the new God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn game just $10. They need those games to be $70 for them to make a profit that year. Whereas Microsoft is able to lose money indefinitely, so indefinitely that they can sell the damn console and Game Pass for just $25 a month. Now that's an amazing deal, but it's one of those deals that we might later say, ooh, that deal was a little bit too good to be true, because it could mean that Microsoft wipes out all the competition in the video game space and then is able to jack the prices up on us and also make games that are a lot worse. And let's not forget that all this consolidation naturally is going to lead to layoffs and worse conditions for workers. Microsoft isn't trying to be the Netflix of games, they're trying to be the Amazon of games. They want to use their massive cash advantage to undercut and dominate the entire game industry. That is bad for video game makers and video game players, and as someone who loves video games, I'm worried.